Hello Toyota lovers. So I have this car. It's quite a crazy looking paint scheme, but it was cheap, so that's why I bought it. I don't really like the Toyota GT86 a great deal amount. I don't find it to be an overly attractive vehicle, so when I saw this thing on sale, I thought, I know that Inno64, they use decals. So I've removed decals in the past on tarmac works, so that's why I bought this. We're going to see if it makes for a good project car. Okay, well anyways, I still learned about the car. The GT86 was a joint development with Subaru. I really think this is more of a Subaru than a Toyota though. It's made at the Subaru facility, and the Subaru version is called a BRZ. This is obviously called a GT86, but also the Scion brand, which is really a Toyota anyways, they had something called the FRS. So 3 different cars with 3 different names, but really they're all, I think, really just Subarus. Alright, it's supposed to be powered by an inline 4-cylinder, no, not an inline, a flat 4-cylinder, very much like a Subaru, and its inspiration was the original AE86 by Toyota, you know, which of drift car fame and Initial D fame. Alright, there's the info there. Alright. So the engine is naturally aspirated, it's front engined, and it's supposed to be rear wheel drive, so that's pretty much like the original AE86 Trueno. I'm going to take this off the base because it's a project car. They're on the 2nd generation of this car these days, but this is the 1st generation, and that was available between 2012 and 2016. Alright, so let's get rid of this. Compared to these photographs. So ESSO is a petroleum company. You know, they have gas stations and stuff. So I'm gonna guess I think their tiger must be the logo. Alright, so this definitely is matching up with this thing. I guess this car was running around the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And Toyota sent like 6 different liveries, as you can see in that right photograph. Alright, well, I think it looks pretty close to the photograph, so pretty good job, as usual. Alright. So it's got these black wheels they look like rally wheels to me, or possibly truck wheels. But you can see there's a brake system back behind it, a silver rotor, and I think the caliper's right here. It might be black. Let's see about the back wheel. Yeah, anyways. Alright, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, so you can see the wrinkliness here between the graphics. So I'm pretty sure that means it's a decal. Like this entire car is covered in one giant decal. Well, most of it. See here, that's raw paint right there. It's smooth. Then where the stripes begin, and in between the stripes, that's a decal. So this is good, because I think I'm going to take them off and we're going to end up with just an orange car. And I might have to repaint those, maybe golden orange? What do you guys think? Alright, well anyways, let's see, we have some black here on the windows, and yes, the decal here, yep, there we go. There's the air pocket, so that's why I don't like decals on the models I want. But on models I'm willing to modify, I actually prefer it because I can remove them. Inno has these reflective stickers in the mirrors, so that's pretty good. The mirrors are separate pieces. The front end here, we seem to have a crooked license plate of some sort. It looks like it's shifted to the right and is crooked, so that's too bad. Some sort of funky texture here in the grille. This is part of the casting, I think. Same here, these lights are part of the casting, but they're printed pretty well with the silver, and I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's a turn signal. I'm looking at the real photograph. Maybe that's a turn signal. Okay, so speaking of the main headlights here, we got the clear lens and some sort of molded detail behind it. It looks like there might be some silver paint back there, and like an air gap there, or maybe this is where the plastic is pinned into the casting. Toyota badge is a foil sticker, 3-dimensional, looks pretty great. Quite awesome, really. Yep, decal here. Smooth paint, decal. Wiper blades, three-dimensional, part of the window molding, painted black, look pretty good. Toyota banner there is a decal, of course. We have the little shark tail. That looks like a separate piece. That's pretty interesting. I mean, they could have easily molded that into the casting, but they chose to make it a separate piece because you can see it's not painted perfectly. So a little bit of the black is shining through. Alright, door handles are kind of weak. I don't know. They're similar, but they're just not really crisply defined. They look kind of blobby. Alright, the wheels, brakes on this side look okay. The rear wing looks pretty good. It's a separate piece. A little air, I think. No, I'm mistaken. It's blanked off. Oh, look at that. So there's a pin, 2 pins holding that down. That's fine. A separate license plate. Yeah, a little thin plastic there. Foil sticker looks great. Actually, all 3 of them are foil stickers. Toyota GT. What is that thing? Well, you know, it doesn't look like an 86. I don't know. Let's get in on that closer. Weird. I guess that's... I don't know. I'm gonna assume that's an 86, really stylized. Sadly, from this distance, it looks like just a wheel or... I don't know, like a Ninja Star or something like that. What's going on here? Just some random gunk. Dust. Taillights look pretty good. Clear lenses, a little red paint or something on them. And then shininess behind. So that's good. Exhaust tips are nothing to complain about. They got some depth in the middle. Painted black. The outside is silver, so that's good. Yeah, that's a problem right there, though. Look, not enough black paint covering up this area. Some silver and red here is really nicely done. This one's got the defroster lines. They're printed on the outside. I can feel them. 5-year something. I don't know if that's legible, the extra text, but it says 5... No, that's not even year. 5 WIOE? 5 yeah. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Okay, well anyways. Black interior here. We're going to take this apart, actually, since I'm going to strip the decals off anyways. And that's why Inno64 is great. They have screwed together bases. Now, unfortunately, this exhaust is in the way. So the question is, can I get that? Hold on a second. I wasn't expecting that, but I have these, mobile phone pry bars here. You know what? Maybe there's a tab there. Maybe I should just try to unscrew this first and see if it'll come off. But I have a suspicion there's a screw underneath that. Oh, this is not the right screw head. Whoa, that's really tight. Man, I'm gonna strip the screw head. Alright, I'm gonna have to come back. Alright, took a little work to get the thing apart. So this thing, Inno64 uses like crazy glue or some sort of plastic glue, so I literally had to break the pins that were holding this muffler piece on. The pins are still stuck in there, so that's too bad. Yeah, it looks like some sort of crazy glue or something. The wheels here, they were actually warped quite a bit putting them on because the spokes are so small and delicate, but I straightened them out. You'll see the brake system is just all chrome. I'm going to paint the calipers a different color. In fact, I'm going to paint the wheels a different color. I don't like black wheels, you lose the details. So that's what's going on there. Let's see this interior piece. Well, first there's a rear view mirror hanging. The defroster lines there. Some sort of production code there. Okay. I'm going to repaint this probably as well because it's just plain black. Well, there's a little bit of silver there by the shifter, but not oh wait, the instrument cluster. Well, I'll be. There actually is something in the instruments. Let me get in on that. See? Some gauges. So that's pretty neat. I'll have to put some putty in there or something to mask it off. Or, well, let's back out here. I'm pretty sure I can take this dashboard off. Yeah, so this is, you don't want to fold this too many times, the plastic will snap, but I guess you could just glue it back. This is being held in place probably by melted plastic there. So I'll have to take a hobby knife, cut that out, and then I should be able to wiggle the dashboard off, and I'll just leave that black. Seems like the seats, they're glued in here. I guess that might be an easy removal as well, but only the front seats. Yeah. Well, maybe not. It's pretty strong glue, whatever they used. You can hear it crack, but maybe with enough wiggling you could get it out. But I'm not going to make you deal with watching that. So let me come back with some mods there, and then for this stuff, I'm going to try the same old stuff as before with the Tarmac Works, Mr. Mark Softer. This is used to soften decals to put them on a vehicle, so the decals will soften and go into the body creases. But since it softens decals, I'm just going to smear it all over this thing, and then use some Q-tips and just get rid of all these tiger stripes. I'll probably keep the banner though, there's nothing wrong with that. I should probably play it safe. I don't know if it'll ruin or, haze this clear plastic. I should probably drill that rivet out, remove this piece of plastic, so then I don't accidentally get the chemical on it. So that seems easy enough to do. It's only one rivet. Okay, so let me come back and we'll see what happens. So I'm back here. I repainted the interior. It's not accurate. It's just colors I went with. First I took some of this sticky tack stuff and I covered the entire dashboard and steering wheel with it. This stuff is great because it doesn't leave any residue and it's relatively cheap, so you can use it to mask stuff off easily. And then I took some gray metallic marker of all things and I highlighted the seats and the middle console there and the doors. So just a little bit different than usual. The disc brakes here, I red Sharpie, a little red Sharpie on the calipers, and then I used some Tamiya paint here to change these to like a light titanium goldish color. Alrighty. Now, I was using that Mr. Softer stuff, but it took forever. It does work, but it just takes a long time. So getting impatient, I ended up using Scotch brand adhesive remover. But I do have to warn you, it does strip paint off the windows, or maybe it's just a friction. So I did end up drilling that one rivet out and taking the windows off, and then I pushed out one rear light pretty easily. I pushed out one front light pretty easily. But Inno64 here, they don't really care about modifiers, people that want to mod their products, which is fine, it's not really meant to be modified, but it's a hobby also, so some people like me like to. So what I'm getting at is they use crazy glue or some sort of hard setting glue to glue in all these lights. So this rear light I never got out. I just used really fine tipped Q-tip type of things and got the tiger stripes off of it. But there were some tiger stripes and you can still see a little black underneath this headlamp. So I wanted to really get this out because you would see 4 tiger stripes and there's still 2 there as well. But the hard setting glue literally took a chunk of that paint out with it. So I just kind of jammed it back in there later, and I have some Tamiya orange. It's not the exact same orange, but it definitely looks sloppier than this side, right? So yeah, I'm not sure if Inno64 models are really good for modifying. Also, when I was rubbing off the decals, it took those chrome stickers off, this thing, the Toyota badge, and I super glued them back on, but in about 2 minutes I already lost this one. It's gone, or it's stuck to my hand somewhere, I don't know. I used crazy glue also. That's a little crazy glue residue. So now I gotta find that. That's a shame. Alright, maybe it's not meant to be. Alright, that thing's gone. So, let's pop this back together. Okay, it's back together. I also want to note that besides that side badge falling off in the span of 2 seconds, when I was taking off the decal on the back, it tore apart the Toyota text back there. So that's long gone. Alright, let's compare it to a couple other cars here. The AE86 here by Time Micro. So that's, I guess, the inspiration for this car. Here's a version by Aoshima. It's one of those Itasha versions where it's all covered in Japanese cartoons, mangas. It's not for everyone, obviously. And then here's my other project where I removed decals. This Tarmac Works Supra, where it had the Blitz logo, and it just looked really weird. And it had not the greatest wheels, so I swapped the wheels out on that Tarmac Works as well. So the Tarmac was a much more successful job because it wasn't removing everything. So I didn't even get to, close to removing that Toyota badge on the Tarmac Works, or the hood pin latches on the Tarmac Works. Okay. Well, let's let this guy spin on its own in its newfound livery. Well, as I mentioned, I got it cheap because I don't think normal people want to buy a GT86 with a tiger stripe pattern. It's not for everyone. Definitely not for me. And although it is possible you can remove the decals, in hindsight I'm thinking it's not worth the effort. Because now I lost a Toyota badge, I lost one of the side badges, and it was a lot of work. It took probably like 2 hours for me to do all that. Maybe 3. Thinking about the paint drying and all that stuff too. So, well, when you live and you learn, and just be mindful if you're going to modify an Inno, it's going to be some hard glue you got to deal with. So there's a chance you might have to repaint the whole thing if the lights don't come out at all, which 50% of my lights did not come out at all. So, alright guys, well, anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next mod.